Welcome back to Carolina Saltwater Living, guys. I am breaking my rule. I am deep frying twice this week because I want some onion rings, y'all. We're having hamburgers tonight, and I told Lisa, I said, onion rings, that's my favorite thing with a smashed burger on the griddle. So I'm going to show you how I make my version of onion rings using a Texas sweet onion, and they are really out of this world. When you think of onion rings, what do you think of? Do you think of a fast food joint where you had your $5.99 lunch deal today? Or do you think of a steakhouse where you get really a better onion ring? I'm going to show you how to make one in your kitchen at home that's better than the steakhouse, better than the fast food joint for sure, and it's not going to cost you a bunch to do it. Guys, thanks for stopping in. Let's get to cracking on some onion rings. All right, first things first, I make a batter for my onion rings, and I start off with self-rising flour. Some of you may be like, why self-rising? Why not all-purpose? I like the fluff that it gives me. So what I do is I start off with, and I'm only doing one onion because that's enough for just the two of us, y'all. Remember, we're living with less down here at the coast because less is more. This little measure is 1/4 cup. And I want a 1/2 cup exactly of all-purpose flour down in the bowl. That's the first thing we're starting with. Here's a little trick, y'all. You want an extra crunchy onion ring, or I should say a different type of crunch onion ring. Here's what you want to put into your batter. Stone ground, fine white cornmeal. You can use yellow if yellow is what you like the most, but this is what I prefer. Now there's a 1/2 cup of self-rising flour in here. I want 1/4 cup, or roundabout, of this fine, plain white cornmeal. So this is giving it a ratio. Next up, cornstarch. And I can't get my hand into this thing because my hands are so big. But we've got a 1/2 cup of flour. We have 1/4 cup of fine white cornmeal, and I've got about 1/8 cup of cornstarch. That's going to give it a little extra crunch. A little different texture, y'all. I like texture in my food. All this kitchen work's making me thirsty. I love these Epic water filter bottles. We are an affiliate. Yes, I'm plugging it. You can look in the description to see more about it. Good clean water, y'all. And that's what I want. Good clean water. Especially going into my batter right here, because we have a filtration system under the sink. It cleans it all up. Next thing, we're going to season this batter. Kosher salt. A teaspoon of kosher salt. Straight in. Cayenne pepper. I want it a little bit spicy. Almost a teaspoon. So if you're going to use a measure, just a little bit shy of a teaspoon. Probably going to make me sneeze. It always does. Garlic powder, y'all. We're using the same amounts here. Almost a teaspoon, just shy. I know where a teaspoon's at in the palm of my hand, and I go just a little bit shy of that. Paprika, I want 1/2 teaspoon. Shake it out, and there it is. And there's that cayenne hitting me. Mainly, hang on, I know how to sneeze. Stuff gets me every time, y'all. mainly for color. A little bit of flavor, but mainly for color is what I'm looking at here. All right. Whew. Now that the dry ingredients are in there, take a whisk, incorporate all of it together so that it's combined. All right, here's where mine gets a little bit different. I take an egg, put it into a measuring cup here, and then I take whole milk, and for this ratio I have 1 cup plus a quarter, so 1 1/4 cups. Give it a whisk it together so that it's combined into that milk. That's going to give a thicker, an even thicker batter for this onion to stick to, and a richer flavor once this is fried. It's incorporated. Now we start stirring in the mixture. Oop, there's my yolk. I didn't get it knocked together too good, stirred up too good there. But that's all right, I'm getting it now. It shouldn't take any more liquid than I have here. I say shouldn't take any more. It usually doesn't. It's going to depend on the humidity outside, y'all. But you want it to be just a little bit thin, because that cornmeal and that flour is going to soak this up. We're going to let it sit on the counter while I am slicing the onion into the size onion rings that I like. And there's your batter. Loose, a little bit looser than a pancake batter. All right, on to slicing this onion. Go ahead and get the tip of it off and the root ball of it off. And I like to go ahead and score it like so and peel this outer layer off. It may come off in 2 layers, that's all right. Want to get the paper layer off. And professional chefs make it look so much easier. Or they just take extra takes. But here you go. Coming off. Paper is off, left with a big, beautiful onion. And I start taking my slices, and I want them about 1/2 inch thick. Just like so. And here's where you got to be careful, so that you don't end up at the urgent care getting stitches. All right, now we take our batter and we'll take our onion rings and start just pushing them off into the batter. It's not going to hold all of these onion rings at one time, but we can get several down in here. And now's when you're going to get dirty. We'll coat these right before we put them into the grease, and it's going to leave you with a light, crispy batter that comes up nice and crunchy. It's not just a bunch of bread on there. Some people like them with a whole bunch of breading. I prefer them with a light breading that's crispy, because crispy is where it's at. All right, hot grease. Going in with our lightly coated onion. And y'all, these don't take long at all. My grease is about 370 degrees right now. I want it hot because I want this batter to cook quick. I want my onion to stay crispy. Keep stirring them around, turning them over so it's cooking it evenly. All right, they're done. You see how long, and that was real time, probably almost real time. It took like a minute to cook these onion rings. Putting them over here on a wire rack to drain into a pan that I'll use later when I'm cooking our burgers for supper. Straight into the pan. Hot grease, y'all. This does not take long at all. Give them a flip. I don't know what goes better with burgers than fresh onion rings. Hot, crispy, fried onion rings, y'all. From one Texas sweet onion. I did the math. These were basically about 89 cents a piece. I used one of these onions, y'all. Just for safe measure, times that by 2. That's what you end up with this one fried onion. I've got some sauce here that I made the other night. I'm gonna dip them in. And if you're not familiar, that's my Bang Bang sauce that I've made before. I didn't call it Bang Bang, but it's pretty explosive. It's pretty stout. But I'm gonna dip them into this. I'll try to link the video somewhere around here. You can learn how to make this sauce. But y'all check out these crispy onion rings. I'll dip it in this here sauce and have me a taste. You can't get it like that in a steakhouse. It's not the same. I'll try one without any sauce at all. It's light. It's not that greasy. Remember, high heat on the oil. It was about 375 degrees, y'all. That gives you a quick cook. Crispy. It's light because of self-rising flour. The egg helps it to coat better. The milk. Make them this way. This is the best way that I have ever found on my own working in the kitchen to make my onion rings. And you still get a little bit of bite from the raw onion in there. It's cooked, but you still get just a little bit of raw. That's fantastic. So y'all, let's just say for less than $2, and that includes the grease that I already had on the stove, where I fried some shrimp the other day, to the ingredients I used to make the batter, to the 89-cent onion, y'all, that's about 6 servings, maybe 8 servings from a fast food joint, or even a steakhouse. And I made it at home for about $2. That includes the electric it took to run the stove. I don't count my time because I enjoy doing this. Give some homemade onion rings a try at home, y'all. You'll never go back to getting them in a drive-thru. I'm gonna be full before I even get the burgers cooked. Guys, I hope that y'all have a good day and a great week. Lord willing and the creek don't rise too high. Our metal building will be here Thursday when you're watching this video. Hopefully, we are ready to get some outdoor projects done. And take you fishing some too. Until then, enjoy these videos from the kitchen. Have a good day and a great week, Lord willing. Again, we will see you on the next one.